Opening scene. What if I told you? There's a way to become truly wealthy, not just in money, but in peace, joy, and meaning. A path that is entirely ethical, deeply fulfilling, and completely free. And the best part? Anyone can do it. Whether you're rich or poor, young or old. This kind of wealth doesn't come from your wallet. It comes from simple actions. Effortless gestures that cost you nothing, yet generate immeasurable blessings, inner peace, and lasting happiness. It's the kind of abundance that fills your life with calm, joy, and deep spiritual value. In this video, we'll explore 7 powerful ways to build real wealth, based on timeless teachings passed down by the Buddha. They don't require money, but in return, they bring rewards that are not only material, but also spiritually nourishing and transform your life from the inside out. And here's the truth. Even if you choose just one of these 7 and practice it regularly, it has the power to quietly reshape your heart, uplift your energy, and change the entire course of your life. So, come with me. Let's begin a journey into a kind of wealth that costs nothing, yet gives you everything. Part 1. The wealth hidden in a simple look. Let's begin with the first secret. It's something so small, so natural, that we often overlook it. Yet it holds the quiet power to transform not only someone else's day, but your own inner state. It begins with your eyes. There's a saying, sometimes a warm look can save a soul that's about to collapse. And it's true. When you look at someone, really look. With compassion, with kindness, with no judgment in your gaze, you are offering something incredibly precious. You're giving them safety, presence, and silent acceptance. Have you ever had someone look at you like that? Not with pity, not with pressure, but with simple warmth and understanding? That moment, even without words, can feel like a quiet hug for your spirit. And the beautiful thing is, you can give that to others at any moment. A single look filled with peace can soothe someone's storm, remind them they're not alone, or help them find strength when they're about to give up. In spiritual terms, this kind of gaze carries healing energy. In modern psychology, it might be called non-verbal empathy. But in the Buddha's teachings, it is the visible expression of a compassionate heart. And this is what makes this secret so powerful. When you offer that kind of energy through your gaze, you lose nothing, but gain so much. Your heart softens, your body relaxes, and from that space, you gradually become someone whose very presence brings light and uplifting energy to the world around you. So yes, the first step toward lasting wealth can be surprisingly simple. Just a gentle, compassionate look. But that's only the beginning. Because we all carry another power with us, every single day. What if a single sentence from you could pull someone back from the edge, even save their life? What if your ordinary voice held the power to heal, to uplift, and to deeply connect with others? In the next part, we'll explore the second timeless secret to building true inner wealth, the power of words. Let's continue. Part 2, the power of words. Now, let's move to the second form of true wealth, the kind that lives in your voice. Have you ever received a kind word just when you needed it most? Maybe it was something simple, like, "It's gonna be okay," or "I believe in you." If spoken from the heart, those words can be truly magical. They have the power to lift someone out of darkness. We often underestimate the impact of what we say. But the truth is, just one sentence, at the right moment, can change someone's entire life. A heartfelt compliment, a caring question, a gentle encouragement. These are not just polite gestures. They are acts of compassion, carried through sound. In Buddhist teachings, this is known as Ngyon-ti, the offering of kind and mindful speech. Imagine your words as seeds, When spoken with warmth, those seeds are planted in someone's heart. Like cool, refreshing water falling on parched, dry soil. You may not see the tree grow, but one day, in the darkest hour of their life, your words may touch their soul and give them the strength to carry on. And here's the miracle. When you give in this way, you receive too. Speaking with kindness softens your spirit. It clears your mind. And over time, your relationships grow deeper, more meaningful, and filled with love. So yes, words are free, but they are never small. The second way to build lasting wealth is to speak as if your words matter, because they truly do. Now, let's continue. Part 3, Giving from the Heart. Now we come to the third way of building true wealth. And this one is invisible to the eye, but deeply felt by the soul. It's called giving from the heart. Sometimes you can't offer money. You might not have the time, the skills, or even the energy to help someone physically. But if you genuinely wish for their well-being, from a place of deep compassion, you are still giving. You are offering something more subtle, more powerful, the silent energy of a kind and open heart. In Buddhist teachings, this is known the act of giving through heartfelt intention. You don't need grand gestures. You don't need to say the perfect words. Just the willingness to hold someone in your heart with empathy, without judgment. That alone sends ripples of goodness into the world. Because when your heart opens, it changes your entire energy field. Others feel it. They respond to it. And what you give out, that sincere compassion, often comes back to you in beautiful, unexpected ways. The Buddha once said, "All things arise from the heart. All things fade because of the heart." In other words, the heart is where everything begins. Every thought, every choice, every change. So if we start from the heart, imagine what kind of world we could create. A world where kindness is instinctive and compassion flows without effort. That's the third secret to real wealth. Give with your heart, even when you have nothing else to give. Let's keep going. Part 4, Giving through a joyful expression. We've explored giving through the eyes, through words, and through the heart. Now comes another form of wealth, one that may seem small, but carries an energy that quietly transforms everything around it. Giving through a joyful expression. Have you ever noticed? A face that is constantly tense, frowning, or stressed tends to push people away. It creates discomfort, even distrust. But a face that is calm, relaxed, and lightly smiling, it naturally puts others at ease, even before a single word is spoken. A smile is not just a facial expression. It is the reflection of a peaceful inner world. And it's also a priceless gift, one you can offer to anyone, anywhere, anytime. When you walk into a room with a bright, joyful face filled with clean, uplifting energy, you don't just change the atmosphere, you uplift the people in it. Even the surroundings feel lighter. Without saying a word, you radiate a form of silent support. This is the power of joy, a quiet but deeply effective form of giving. And what do you receive in return? Connection, warmth, openness, and more than that. When you shine with positive energy through your expression, you begin to unlock invisible doors, new opportunities, beautiful connections, kindred souls, and even unexpected blessings that flow directly from the purity of your own inner state. Because life always mirrors back the frequency you give off. You'll soon realize, a joyful face opens more doors than the most eloquent speech. This is called giving by offering a smile and a gentle presence. Because as the saying goes, the face reflects the heart. When your heart is at peace, your face becomes bright and naturally more beautiful to those around you. So instead of frowning at life, try smiling at the people you meet. You never know. That one smile might be saving someone on the edge. And more than that, it might be elevating your own consciousness to an entirely new level. So come with me. Let's continue this journey of wealth without money and nourishment for the soul. Part 5. Generosity through action. After the smile comes the step. Compassion doesn't stop at the heart or in words. It needs to be lived. Through the body, through what we do. This is the kind of wealth built through simple, meaningful action. It could be something as small as offering your seat to someone elderly, helping carry a heavy bag, walking someone across a busy street, or quietly listening to someone who just needs to be heard. It could even be pausing to help a fallen branch, a wounded animal, or a thirsty plant. In those moments, you're offering living kindness, in motion. You don't need money. You don't need status. You just need a little presence and a willing heart in that moment. This is compassion made real. In everyday life, in everyday choices. But here's what matters most. Give without expecting anything in return. Not for recognition. Not for spiritual points. As the Buddha taught, every cause has its effect. That's the natural rhythm of the universe. But what you're creating isn't a transaction. It's an invisible field of kindness that quietly transforms the world around you, starting from within. Even a small act of goodness, when done with a clear heart, can ripple out farther than you imagine. From one person to another, from one heart to the next. This is how you build true wealth. With your presence, with your hands, and with a heart that genuinely wants to help. Let's continue the journey, one act at a time. Part 6. Generosity. Through space. Now, let's move on to another form of wealth building. One that may seem small, but carries a deeply transformative power. Giving up your seat, sharing your space, creating opportunities for others. In the time of the Buddha, this might have meant simply offering someone a seat, a gesture that says, "You are welcome, you are valued, you deserve rest." But today, this form of giving can mean so much more. The Buddha taught it means so. Let go of craving, competition, and grasping. And sometimes, not competing is itself an act of profound generosity. It might look like stepping back to let someone else speak in a meeting, letting others shine when you could have taken the spotlight. Sharing chances for growth and success, not because you have to, but because you genuinely want others to rise with you. Think about it. In life, we often scramble for position. In our jobs, on social media, in our relationships. But what if real strength lies in knowing when to step aside? What if others are not rivals, but fellow souls equally worthy of support? Giving space is a silent kind of giving. It quietly says, "I see you. I respect you. I believe in your worth." And what do you receive in return? Perhaps nothing tangible, but more often than not, something priceless. You build trust. You earn respect. You form meaningful connections. You become someone who lifts others up without needing to win. And in doing so, you no longer need to cling to everything. Because in truth, you already have more than enough. When you no longer need to hold all the light for yourself, you become part of something greater. A space where everyone gets to shine. So the next time you have the chance to give up your seat, your spotlight, or your privilege, do it with joy. Because it's not a loss. It's a gift. And when you give that gift, you grow, deeply and quietly from within. We still have one final form of giving to explore. Perhaps the most profound of them all. It might just be the key to freeing your heart and opening your life. Now, let's continue. Part 7. Growing rich through forgiveness. Now, we've come to the final form of giving, and perhaps the most profound one of all. A way to grow rich, not through money, not through words, not even through actions, but through the heart itself. This is the art of letting go, the gift of forgiveness. This might be the most noble act of generosity, because you're giving away what's often the hardest to release. Your pride, your wounds, your resentment, sometimes even hatred. When you forgive someone, not because they apologized, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. You're not just freeing them, you're freeing yourself. Think about it. Holding on to anger is like clutching a burning coal, hoping it will hurt the other person. But in the end, you're the one who gets burned. It's like drinking poison and hoping someone else will die. Letting go doesn't mean you forget. It doesn't mean pretending you were never hurt. It simply means choosing not to carry the pain anymore. And that choice, that is true strength. Forgiveness is not weakness. It's a quiet kind of courage that says, I will not let this pain define me. I choose to live free. And when you give that gift, you may not see the change right away. But inside, your heart begins to lighten. Your mind becomes clearer. And from that clarity, wisdom begins to rise. Your life starts to expand in ways you never imagined. And over time, the world around you shifts too. Because you've changed. Imagine a world where people are willing to forgive, willing to release the past, and walk forward in peace together. That too is a form of true wealth, a spiritual richness no one can take away, because it's born from the freedom within you. So today ask yourself, who are you ready to forgive? What are you finally willing to release? Because when you offer this final gift, the gift of letting go, you're not just unlocking someone else's future, you're throwing open the door to your own. Conclusion, you see, it doesn't take money, yet every one of us can practice this kind of inner wealth every single day. A warm glance, a kind word, a heart that truly listens, a helping hand, the willingness to share space, the grace to let someone else go first, and finally, the courage to forgive. When you give like this, you're planting seeds of compassion, wisdom, and lasting goodness. And what you receive in return isn't just material blessings, it's a life of peace, joy, and deep meaning. If this video brought value to your heart, please share it to spread this spirit of love and kindness even further. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe so we can keep walking together on this journey, unlocking the full power of compassion and wisdom, and sharing it with the world. See you soon.